Hey, Kimball, nice.
Howdy. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining me. Congrats on Hippo. I thought it was really cool.
Of course, yeah, it's a wild ride for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean I mean that's the point, and I think audiences are gonna have a lot of fun with it, so it's great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a really cool look too. I like the desaturated presentation. I was curious, did you and Mark sort of visualize Hippo to look like that from the get-go?
Definitely. Yeah, I think what's funny, like I've always been very drawn to black and white movies and old Hollywood. I just think that I mean, who isn't? But so at the time I'd never made a black and white movie. I like dreamed of it. And I thought like I think at the beginning we were thinking, okay, this could be some I think at the beginning we were just thinking it would be in color like most movies. But then I think as time went on, it helped for a few reasons because one budgetarily it's easier because then if you shoot a color movie then you have to color correct and everything later and it helped with the budget but also truthfully like we liked the stark like Cold War there that movie Cold War we liked
Oh yeah.
that and there was something about it and I think it also just really helped kind of it really helped you bring you into the isolated world that they were living in and the darkness they were living in. But I think it also helped the jokes end up being it helped make the jokes funnier because they say something funny and you're like I'm unsure if I should laugh or not because it looks like a drama, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think it really helped with the tone and all that. So that's great. And yeah, Cold War is a great movie as well.
Great movie.
Yeah. Um, and that sort of awkward, purposely awkward sexual dynamic between Buttercup and Hippo. I was curious, could you sort of talk about walking that fine line between making things uncomfortable, but also funny and entertaining for the viewer?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's this, especially for Buttercup, it's a real like fish out of water thing because she she's coming from Hungary and had lost her family already, and she's thrown into this crazy family, and so it's like, and she wants to have a family of her own because she didn't have that, and so she ends up kind of falling in love in a way with her brother who is insane and he's a psychopath, and it's this interesting line because like like they technically are not related like she tells him like we're technically not related, it should be fine, and but like she's dealing with someone who mentally is will never be fine, and so it was this fun, you have these wildly different personalities and it's fun to see how they all affect each other, and it makes for a lot of comedy because every character you could have a single movie about every character. They're all so insane. Even Darwin, and so when you bring all this ensemble in, it makes for like, a game of like billiards, and all these balls are bouncing off each other and like going in crazy directions.
Yeah. Was Hippo always the plan for the name of, your wonderful character?
So yeah, so it's funny. Loosely, and this might sound a little pretentious. We borrowed inspiration from there's Greek. We were looking into Greek tragedies a lot, and like because we made a short film prior to this called Andronicus, which had a Greek title, and we were like, let's look at like Greek tragedies and see what inspires us. And so we found this one called Hippolytus, and it's about this young man who like is very very violent and loves war and like is very awful to his family, and we were like, what if instead of war, he loved video games? And what if instead of, being way back in this ancient time, what if it was in the 1990s and he lived in Pennsylvania? And so it was fun to play with that. And what's funny is, so we shortened it, made his name Hippo, and obviously his real name is Adam, but he loves hippos. And then, but then what's funny is even the title of the film originally was going to be Hippo or the Spectacular Detonation of an American Nuclear Family, but we're like, that's way too long. And so we were like, let's just call it Hippo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like that title too. And, but I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Both are great titles.
you're probably thinking, hey, if Birdman can do it, why can't we? You know?
Exactly. We were thinking Birdman and Doctor Strangelove. We were like, well, let's
Oh
have
yeah.
an over title, and then as we were, sending it around, people were like, this is way too long, know. And you're trying to fit the title on the screen, and
Yeah.
but
Can't win them all. Yeah.
you can't win them all. Next one will have an or
Yeah,
title.
exactly. I hope so.
Uh,
And the wonderful Eric Roberts narrating your movie. Could you talk about working with him? Because it's sort sort of getting like the Alec Baldwin, Royal Tenenbaum vibes from his narration. I was curious, like
Definitely.
working with him to achieve a certain delivery. Because it
Yeah.
really it also
Well,
just like the black and white really helped with the narrative and all that. So
thank you. Yeah, it added so much. I think like for one, it really we wanted to go for this like storybook like fable quality, and I think it really added to it because him doing the narration, he's got such a rich like dark, beautiful timbre to his voice now, and so it's like he's leading us through this fable, and it makes it feel more fantastical, but also like especially with characters like this that are also insane in their own ways. If you didn't have a narrator, there'd be a lot that you'd maybe still be wondering. Like I think there'd be a lot more silence in this household, and you'd be wondering what are all these characters feeling because they're all so insane in their own ways.
yeah,
And I think having a narrator really helped tell you kind of like it kind of helped bring you into the world and let you know, okay, you're dealing with this insane, dark, evil person and this weird, insane family.
yeah.
And but this is what they're feeling. And I think it kind of brings people in and opens them up more because I think without it, it would be a much more cold experience.
For sure. Yeah, totally get it. Yeah, I think it definitely helped. And
Yeah.
some filmmakers or other movies sort of come to mind watching this, which is, of course, a compliment to Hippo. I was curious if there were certain influences you found or certain classic movies you found yourself revisiting or just maybe in your head while making Hippo.
Definitely. I think like a big inspiration for us at the time, like we love, as do many, we love Yorgos Lanthimos. And I think that was a big one at the time. And then I think like we did also love We Need to Talk About Kevin, the Lynn
Oh, yeah.
Ramsey movie. And we and but we were like, what if you took that and mixed it with Yorgos, made it a little bit more comedic, put these people in isolation. And but what's funny is we didn't there's a lot of people like people saying post making the movie we didn't even really imagine these comparisons, but like a lot like especially while filming it we took it so serious. I was like shocked when I heard the first like Napoleon Dynamite reference, but it is very Napoleon Dynamite, but like and I've heard it's funny like a lot of people have mentioned like Eraserhead, and what's funny is I wasn't even thinking about that at the time, but like I love David Lynch, and we of course hear a lot. I actually need to see more Jim Jarmusch, but
Oh, yeah.
that's another one we hear a lot. But I think the main one, I think the main two were like just Yorgos's entire filmography, really, and then we need to talk about Kevin, and we mixed those and
Of
played with it.
course. Yeah, yeah, those are great. I've seen all those, so yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that totally makes sense. Cool. All right, well,
definitely.
great. Well, thank you, Kimball, for taking the time to chat with me. I can't wait for everyone else to see Hippo, and I hope we can do this on your next movie.
Of course, yeah. Please and thank you so much, Will, and thank you for your time and have a great day.
Thank you. Same to you. Take care.